Good evening, everyone. My name is Kevin Driscoll. I'm here with my colleague Freddie Tello. We here are to represent the Jericho Project, and Freddie's going to tell you a little bit about that. But first, I just wanted to very much express our gratitude to Felicia for all of her hard work in bringing us involved with this event tonight, as well as to thank all of you for coming out on kind of a cold and blustering night here to enjoy a little bit of wonderful live performance. Mr. Tello, if you'd like to talk a little bit about Jericho here.
Thank you, Kevin, for that kind introduction. Like Kevin said, I'd like to echo that as well, and thank you all for coming out to support us during this performance, and absolutely also thank Felicia and her team for putting this together and definitely inviting us to come out tonight. So Jericho Project, we are a nonprofit. We provide supportive housing and homeless opportunity and employment opportunities to homeless folks. We started about 30 years ago, so last year was our 30-year anniversary. Woohoo, big milestone for us. And our vision is to end homelessness at its roots by creating a community that fosters sustainability and independent living. And we've been doing that very well for the past 30 years. Right now, we've been helping over 1,000 individuals and families out of homelessness, and we own and operate 7 congregate housing residences in the Bronx, and 2 of those buildings are also dedicated to veterans, where we house 132 veterans. So our Veterans Initiative project started back in 2006. Our executive director, Tori Lyon, realized that after a lot of the veterans that were going to be coming back from Iraq and Afghanistan during this post 9/11 conflict would be struggling to reintegrate back into society, and homelessness, would be one of those issues that we would have to do something about. So we started the initiative back then, and now we're happy to report that we've been helping over 500 veterans come back into independent living and also family reunification. Now, thank you, appreciate it. It's definitely a collective effort and a team effort to be able to do this. Housing is just one piece of the puzzle. I'm not sure if you guys realize, but there's about 54,000 veterans on a winter night like tonight that are sleeping out there throughout the United States, and about 3,000 and change here in New York City alone. So through our work, through our effort, it cost about $12,000 for us to be able to provide this, this independent living type of setting for them, versus $30,000 that cost at a city shelter. So this is really, really exciting for us, and we cannot do it without your support. So besides the housing, employment is critical. In order to maintain that housing, in order to maintain that sustainability of independent living, work is one of the critical issues and challenges that our veterans face. So to talk about our workforce opportunities, which is also what we provide our residents, Kevin will tell you a little bit about how that works.
Thank you, Freddie. I know a number of you may have seen the recent profile in the New York Times of Dasani and her family and the struggles that they've had in being homeless and going through a New York City shelter system. There are enough homeless that are sheltered in New York City to fill Yankee Stadium and still have some people standing. That is a lot of individuals. It's more than 50,000 individuals. About 10 to 12% of those individuals nationwide, as well as in New York City, are veterans. They're overrepresented among the homeless population. Being someone who has had success in life, when somebody has been a member of the armed services, when somebody has done a lot of things, it can be very difficult to accept the charity, to accept the things that are perceived as handouts that become part of being social services. So one of the things we aim to do is to give people a hand up rather than a hand out by offering them opportunities for forward employment and things that are going to help out. When I was working for a different company before Jericho Project, I helped an individual get a job. He was somebody with very few prospects. He spoke no English. He'd had some horrible situations happen to him. And I helped him get a job with a food service company at a cafeteria at one of the universities in the Bronx. Paid $10 an hour. It was union after 3 months. It had health benefits. This is before the Affordable Care Act. It had health benefits. And This individual was great. He was washing dishes. He could move up to more senior things eventually. The problem was that he was staying in a shelter way on the other end of the A train. He spent an hour and a half each way in the train, 3 hours every day in the train. And like most people, if you're trying to get out of a shelter, you're trying to make money. But if his boss says, stay overtime, somebody else called out, I'll pay you time and a half, he couldn't because he would sleep on that train. That's the situation that folks who live in shelters are in, where they may not have a bed at night if they decide to work the job that they have, the good job that may have health care. They may not have a bed that night. And that's a situation that many of our former service members are in. So one of the things we try to do is to provide that housing support under them at the same time that individuals like myself and my staff work to try to help them get those gainful opportunities or those opportunities for gainful employment so they can move forward, so they can achieve their maximum level of self-sufficiency. And that if you have any questions, concerns, anything like that, to come and find myself or Mr. Tello, and I'd be happy to talk to you a little bit more about that. Again, thank you very much.